And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray as we begin a Thursday. It looks as though we're still having the issues with Facebook not sharing when we go live. The notifications, for whatever reason, is on Facebook side and not currently working correctly. Yesterday, I got a notification that I had been live 10 hours later. So if you're watching, if you could share this, let everybody know that we are up and at 'em until they get this issue fixed. You can also watch on YouTube or Twitter as well. Glad to have you in with us. You can tell it's going to be a hot day as you open up your door and crack it to look outside. You will be met with heat. Already 78. We're expecting a heat index to be somewhere right around 106 today. Temperature-wise, we're going to see about 97. That's what we'll see on there. Also, we will have gusts of about 20 miles an hour. So it's going to be an active weather day with severe storms possible this afternoon, anywhere after lunch. Heavier part will most likely fall between 4 and midnight. We hope it ends before the midnight time, but we'll be here either way to watch all of this. That's up and coming as we carry you through this Thursday morning. How are you? I hope good. There's a lot to talk about this morning. A lot of activities have gone on over the last 24 hours. As we start out today, let's get into some of the heavier news there of what we've got that has gone on. Let me pull this up so you can see this. We start today, and let me pull this and hit a button. This is the fourth person shot within 24 hours in the Meridian area. This is bad news. This happened right around midnight last night, maybe a little bit before, between 11 and midnight, right around in there. 31st Avenue and Harris Street. This would be just south of 8th Street. Here's Wendy's in this area here, and it would be just south of here on Harris Street, right down in this area here, just north of Davis Street. A young lady had walked out on her porch to sit down, and someone drove by and started shooting. She was hit. I believe she was hit in the leg. I've spoken to her family members this morning. She's going to be okay. Doesn't change the fact that we had somebody else shot in our area, does it? Just not good. We continue to pray for her and her recovery. That was one of the things that happened overnight. Now, there were tons of shots, and we'll get into this morning at 8 o'clock. I hope you'll come back and join us as we'll do the breakdown, and we'll go street by street of the places that we know about. And there were other shots. Always let us know if you hear something, know something. That's how we got the tip on the shooting from last night, and we got to digging and got all that information this morning. Just sad. But we will get into the places that I know about where shots were fired. And again, we did have someone else shot last night. We go to the main story of yesterday, and this is it as we pull this up. 3 people were shot at St. Francis Apartments. More serious maybe than I have pushed or said. Again, 3 people. As police arrived on the scene, they would find somebody with chest wounds, shot in the chest, laying in the grass there. As the investigation went on, they found another person shot in the hip, buttocks area, and another person was grazed by a bullet as gunfire broke out. It is unclear of the arrest and suspects and all of that. Manhunt was underway. At one point, I was told an arrest had been made. We'll get back with MPD to get an update on where they stand on all of this. But it was a massive search that went on from there over to Old Meridian Road. Whoever it was ran. They were wearing black shorts, black pants, and took off running. We do hope they are caught and brought to justice on this. No one died, but you've got to consider these folks. They were minding their own and were shot. We hope this gets better. Big crime wave as we've been watching this over the last, 2 weeks. We had a spell of where really no one was shot, not a lot shots fired there. 2-week lull, 2.5 weeks is picking back up. I'm seeing more and more of it. And during that time where there wasn't shootings, well, they found other things to do, and that was steal. That was stealing vehicles. I cannot even count the amount of cars that have been taken over the last 3 weeks to a month. It's numerous. As we did get good word yesterday, and this is good word as we look at this, a truck was found that was stolen. Let me show you what we got here. As we pull this up to show you this, this truck was taken from Eagle Point. Is where it was taken. And I've had a lot of people go, well, these vehicles that are stolen, they must have left their keys in it. As you can see here, this is a 2015 Chevrolet. Keys were not left. As you can see, the ignition switch has been busted open. See all the wires there? They hot-wired it. I guess they practice YouTube videos or however you want to word this to find out how to do this. But if they can get in your car, they can take it. Doesn't matter the make and model. There's folks that practice this all the time, and they've gotten good at this. As I spoke with her, the lady of the family that had this truck stolen, here's MPD as they found it. This is the Little Zion Church, just off of Martin Luther King Drive. It was hit around back. 2 juveniles were seen running from the scene. They were not caught, but as you can see, they hit it right back in there. That was the scene of that, and this is Lewis Recker hauling that away. Minimal damage, from what I'm told. Most of the damage was on the inside of the truck. Still, that's not good. It's not good to have your property done that way. Glad they got it back, though, as we look at that. I got a report of this earlier this morning. I want to share this with you. If you're going down Highway 493, and I'm sure the Meridian Police Department has gotten there and had this taken care of by now. This was about 30, 40 minutes ago, I believe, is when I got this posted. Where the old Lonnie and Pat's was. Do y'all know where I'm talking about? Coming into Meridian, you go past Last Chance Tobacco coming up on Broadmoor, North Hills area. To the right is Poplar Springs Drive. As we pulled this up, this car was just, well, left in the middle of the road. There it sits as we thumb through the pictures here. Back glass busted out, a little duct tape used on that. Looks like it just sort of died there. Police arrived to have a tow truck come get that out of the way. Not sure who, what, or why it was there, but not in a good location there if you're coming along trying to get to work on time. As I mentioned, we'll go back and look at gunshots here in just a little bit. Let's go over a few. Yesterday was full of wrecks. Anybody get held up by that? It did happen. There was a bunch of them around. Hey, Kathy Sharp, glad to see you there. Ralph Fortenberry watching us from Tumsuba this morning. Glad to see you there. Bernadette Odom is up. Bernadette said she was wondering what was going on with the live notifications. They're just not working for anyone that I'm aware. They've just, for some reason, more or less, usually when you hit the live button within a minute, it throws it out to everybody that you're going live. And for the last, this is day 3, it's not been working. I got a notification last night, right around 11 o'clock from the 6 a.m. show. Something is off. I don't know how to do it, but if you'll share this, if you're watching, share it. It'll let others know that we're live where they can watch it. As I was talking, wrecks, numerous wrecks. And this is one of those things to where you can lose control of a trailer. Anybody ever pulled a trailer, 14 foot, 18 foot? If you get too fast, and I don't know that this happened in this wreck, I'm just talking from my own experience of pulling a trailer. If you get too fast, they can get to swaying, even campers. As we go to this and take a look here, this is one of the things that involved a trailer yesterday, mile marker 124, as we look at these pictures and come across. Let's get to this. You'll see this was taken from the other lane. That's a truck on its side. As you get into this closer, let's zoom in on this where you can see. As you can see, that's a pickup truck turned over with a trailer behind it. Now, again, I wasn't there. I don't know the exact reason, but it would make you believe that it was due to possibly that trailer swaying a little bit and losing control. Well, we had a massive wreck yesterday, and I call it massive. Maybe it looks worse than it was, but it is a hard location. If you had the itching for chicken, we've all had that. North Hills area up by Popeyes, that new location that they installed. It sits right on a hill. Kind of hard to get out of. A lot of times it's best to take that right-hand turn, go down and come back up if you need to go east. As we look at a few of these pictures here of the fender bender that happened yesterday. And again, this is North Hill Street right there at Popeye's Chicken. Got a truck there hit pretty bad. Here's a different angle of that, of them piled up there. Police on the scene. It happens a lot there. No one's seriously hurt, but it will make your day not go well to have an incident like that. So glad all is okay, but still there. And then over at Highway 45, by the Coca-Cola plant. You know where the red light is? You can go left to go Highway 39 toward the Naval Base, on up toward North Hill Street. Had a fender bender there also yesterday that backed up traffic for quite a while till police arrived on the scene. And this is a quick look at that. As you zoom in on that, a little bump there. They sit and waited on the police there for a little bit, and it did cause a traffic jam in the area there as people waited. And as I mentioned, we had a young lady, and I say a young lady, that turned 101 the other evening. Well, we've had this again happen, and we have to say, we'll wish her one on TV this morning when we go on there. But a happy birthday goes out to Miss Lois Deere. She is a resident at North Point Health and Rehab. That's up on 39. She celebrated, and look at this, 102 years old the day before. Isn't that wonderful? We wish her a happy belated birthday. I didn't get it till after her birthday, but we certainly wish her a happy belated birthday. That is wonderful to reach that age, 102. Wow, makes us, not many of us do that, do we? So congratulations, sir. I hope it was a fun-filled birthday and fond memories on that. We got any golfers? Now, I have to admit, I've never been much of a golfer. Growing up in rural Kemper County, well, it just wasn't a lot of that. I did visit somebody when I was a kid that had a golf club, and I tried to hit it. I wasn't too good at it. But if you're a golfer, and I know there's a lot of people in the Meridian area that just can't get enough of golf. They say it's addictive. I've never been on a golf course other than me and Debbie emceeing some things with the Jimmy Rogers Festival years ago. But this is kind of neat. If you're a big golf fan, Top Golf is coming to Jackson, Mississippi, rather the Ridgeland area. They've got one in Birmingham. It's huge. Where people go and shoot golf balls. So if you're a big fan of that, be ready for that. That's going to be opening before long. It's going to be on I-55 northeast of the Renaissance Colonial Park. So we'll have more about that as it gets closer to that. Linda Jane, please pray for her daughter, Suzanne. She's having heart surgery today. I sure will. I've been in her situation. Hope everything goes well. It's nothing to worry about. They're professionals at it, Linda Jane. You just have to eat green beans for weeks and weeks. And then that little lady comes in and gives you the bath that won't let you run away. You're kind of stuck there. You got to do what she tells you. But tell her we're thinking about her. We certainly hope that it turns out well for her there. And it will. As we look around, some other things going on. This is awful as we go to Madison County, Mississippi. Yeah, it's making a little racket there, isn't it? Let's see if I can turn that off where it won't do that anymore. Madison County, Mississippi, we had someone hit and killed. It was a person on a bicycle, if I'm not mistaken, was hit and killed. We pass along condolences to that. They were struck by a 99 Chevrolet, struck by a gentleman from the Carthage area traveling west on the highway when he collided with 28-year-old Jarvis Mack of Canton. He was killed at the scene. Horrible. We do pass along condolences to the family members of that issue there. Whew. Let's see here. As we look around, let's look. Noxubee County. I think within the last couple of weeks, this is 2 to 3 weeks. I can't remember the last exact date that it happened, but involving cars where people get upset with people, try to chase them down. Well, it happened again in Noxubee County as the repo man showed up, also known as the suck-up truck, as some people call those, to repossess a car. He didn't seem to like it that the repo man was there. Well, he attempted to chase the man down and run over him. He has been promptly arrested and goes straight to jail there, the Noxubee County Jail. I don't know what to say. They're just doing their job. That's the best I can say. We go to Biloxi next for a headline coming across Mississippi this morning. A principal has been charged with fraud. Pretty serious charge right before school starts as well. Melissa Dawn Nance, 56, has been arrested during a school meeting. She has been charged with 3 felonies, conspiracy, intent to defraud, and making fraudulent statements and representations. It does not have anything to do with the school. We don't have much more indication other than that, but she has been arrested, and we'll try to keep you up to date with that. Right before school, that's pretty serious charges. And again, you're innocent until proven guilty. She's been placed on leave until this works itself out. Macomb, Mississippi, they finally arrested 2 people from a shooting there. Macomb is starting to see their fair share of shootings as well. This one goes back to May. They've arrested 2. It took them a while to crack that case there. We go to Pascagoula, down on the coast of Mississippi next for our headline there. We had a fatality there. Highway 613 there in Jackson County. Zachary Salisbury, 32 there, Pascagoula, was traveling south on 613 when he ran off the roadway and was killed. Condolences on to his family as well as we look at these headlines across the state. We go to next for some headlines across Mississippi. Mississippi Department of Human Services. A former employee there has pleaded guilty to, embezzlement. We see way too much of this across the state and agencies that shouldn't do this. This time, LaShonda Feasel was charged with embezzlement after an investigation turned up that she'd been paying her cell bill for the last 2 to 3 years with taxpayer money from August of 18 to January of 21. Totaled up to over $5,700. She's been charged. Again, you have your innocent until proven guilty. Horn Lake, Mississippi, which is in the northern part of the state. I think most of us know where that is. Boy, this will, and as always, any time that a gun is used with police and investigation, and everybody involved with this will be put on leave until they work it out. It's just a tactic that is done. But Horn Lake police were involved in a shooting, and they chased somebody that was pursuing them. The person, when they finally got the car stopped, pulled a gun. That was the last thing they did. Full-fledged investigation. 4 police officers involved in the shooting of that in the state of Mississippi. Bad to see those things happen. Attala County, which is not far from the Meridian area to the northwest of here, they've arrested 4 in a drug bust. The more of those we get off the street, the better we are. Drugs just aren't good. It burns people's lives, and I know a lot of people disagree with me. It's just not my thing. I've just seen what it does to people's lives. How they grow up, they started at a teenager, and next thing you know, they're 30, they're 40, they still don't have a job. Why? It messes them up mentally. They're not capable of working or functioning in society after being hooked on drugs. This does happen. It is a disease. There's no other way to word it. Some personalities are more apt to try them than others. It's a serious crime there. I feel for many of you that I hear from that have these problems with family members and you don't know what to do. I feel for you. And I don't know what to say. We've dealt with that a little bit in our family as well. As we look around the nation, we don't know how this is going to turn out. Joe and it's either the truth or what they call another gaffe by Joe. During a speech, he claimed that he'd caught cancer from oil as a kid, wiping it off the windshield. Yeah, I'm not really believing that yet either. He worded it this way. He says, my mother drove us rather than us being able to walk. And guess what? The first frost, you know what was happening. You had to put your windshield wipers to literally get the oil slick off the windows. And that's why I'm so blanking mad that many other people grew up who have cancer and why for the longest time. And he went on to say that he had it. Joe, I don't think he does. But if he does, it's been a well-kept secret. He stumbles around and doesn't quite say it. Anyway, that's the latest there from Washington, D.C. As I went back and glanced at the statement, it confuses me even reading it. That's a few of the headlines. We've got a lot more that we're going to talk about coming up this morning. Now, I want to remind you, we do have severe weather tapped for this afternoon. It could be worse for us. We're at a level 2 here in the East Mississippi side. If you're watching on this, I want you to be well aware as the afternoon gets underway, 4 p.m. or so. We're going to take a hard look at your forecast next and break this down for you, so don't rush off. We'll have that for you next here as we begin your day right here with the Scotty Ray Report.
The Square Peg Mini Mall, located across from the Neshoba County Co-op in Philadelphia, Mississippi, is a family-owned business that promises to treat you like family. The Square Peg Mini Mall has been operating for over 10 years and boasts over 30 vendors with a rotating inventory to fit that something you're looking for. Inventory is constantly updating, so there's always a chance for a surprise when you step inside. Come visit the Square Peg Mini Mall, located on 335 West Main Street in Philadelphia, Mississippi.
One of the most important places to you is your home. That's why Patrick Allen Companies is proud to provide style, functionality, and security to your home. There's nothing quite like a well-designed overhead garage door or vinyl replacement windows, or the safety of a storm shelter to help your family feel protected. Patrick Allen offers doors and windows for commercial and industrial with dozens of innovative designs. Patrick Allen Companies, safety, service, and satisfaction.
Elizabeth Graham was telling us she has a friend, Miss Bill, who is 104 years old. Wow. Just never know. There's so many folks that have lived to be a ripe old age. That is wonderful. 104. Send us a picture. We'd be glad to talk about her. That's a neat thing all in itself there. As we look at, Nadine says today is very balmy. It is. You open that door and it's just all over you. And if you wear glasses, be careful as you leave from air conditioning to walk outside. You will, not be able to see your hand in front of your face. We all know that happens there. Let's look at where the severe weather is today as we pull this up from Meridian Honda radar. This is the look here. Let me turn off locations where you can see the big picture, and then we'll zoom back in. This stretches from Tallulah right over and across the state line there through Vicksburg, goes up through Rolling Fork, all the way just north of Columbus, Stark Vegas, you're in this, down to the equipment area right there at Shibuda, just north of Shibuda, across to Heidelberg, Taylorsville. All of this is an area level 2. Livingston, Alabama, you're in this. Thomasville, Alabama, all the way over to Fort Deposit, up through this area here as we go up to Fayetteville and Jasper, Alabama. All right, let's back out where you can see the length of this thing. This is where the storms are coming through. This light green here, or darker green, is a level 1. This is a level 2. This will stretch from Vicksburg, Mississippi, all the way to nearly Greenville, South Carolina today as these storms come across. Just so you know it, that's what we've got expecting. Now, we'll give you the breakdown on all this. Most likely will be 4 p.m. on forward of our severe weather. We'll tell you all about what the National Weather Service, let's just go ahead and do that, because since we're on this talking about what the National Weather Service tells us. As we pull this up, they tell us today that it is the slight risk, the level 2. You're going to have severe storms with this, damage and wind gusts, and this is what we need to pay attention right here. 60 to 70 mile an hour gust that's associated with this, and lightning, which means chances of being struck by lightning are pretty strong. We want you to be aware of it. Be cautious. Stay away from water, areas like that during these storms. But again, 60 to 70 miles an hour, very possible with this storm. We want you to be extremely careful. And the National Weather Service of the Mississippi side is telling us right now 4 p.m. to midnight. As we look at the Bama side, they're giving it anytime between 1 and 9 p.m. As we look at this, and that's the area across there. Damaging wind gust 60, quarter-size hail associated with it. So we've got a lot of serious weather lined up. We want you to know we'll be here regardless of what it is. If we go live, please share, since it's not working correctly with Facebook and the notifications, especially if there's severe weather this afternoon. All right, let's get a little further into the forecast now and let you know what the National Weather Service has for us.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Record highs, record lows, 1981. Record low, record high of 103 degrees today. Thank goodness we are not on that today. Our record low was set back in 47 with 61 degrees. It's up and down, isn't it? This is what we've got today. Those showers in the Meridian area could get some heavy rain there, all the way up here through Stark Vegas, Louisville. Y'all be ready for this as well. But our temperature is somewhere between 95 to 97. Heat index, we're expecting it to be 107. Could be even higher. It is balmy out there, as you put it. As we look at the Bama side there, 96 in Demopolis, we'll see that as well as Livingston, Alabama, all the way over to Montgomery, holding steady there. And this is that path of severe thunderstorms today, right through Tuscaloosa area and Selma, Demopolis, Livingston, Alabama. Y'all be ready. As we look at the heat stress today, this is going to be hot. Now, the worst of this, they're claiming it will be from 11 o'clock until 7 p.m. I'm pretty much sure that anytime after the sun gets up, say 9 o'clock, it's going to be rough. But this area here, we could see this anywhere from 106 to 110. Our area sitting predicted at somewhere around 107 today. That's a lot. The Mississippi Delta will be worse. So warm weather for us there. Now, let's look at the Bama side of this as we pull this up. Birmingham putting this out. Demopolis, these areas, 105 plus. These purple areas are even worse than that. You might even see this jump up through this area here in a little bit there along that side, and the Mississippi side. All right, as we look at the temperatures over the next 6 to 10 days, it's not going to change. We've even got another heat wave coming from Texas that is just not entering Arkansas that will affect us within a week. You ready for that? Let's go ahead and look at our forecast for today. As we said, we do have some areas of warm weather. 97 is what we're getting there officially. 50% chance of thunderstorms. This can begin anytime after 8 a.m. The worst of it most likely in the afternoon. Heat index values 106, 107. Gusty today. 20-mile-an-hour gust. I wouldn't suggest burning today. As we move into tonight, it will decrease to a 40% chance of showers. Should end by 2 a.m. That's what we're looking for. By tomorrow, rain chances increase to a 70% chance of rain. Be ready for that as well. 103 at least tomorrow on the heat index side to end the week. And then rain chances decrease over Saturday and Sunday. Only a 30% chance on Saturday, down to a 20% on Sunday. Temperatures are high, though. Look at that. 96, 97, probably right along in here. We're days out on this. But holding steady in at least the mid-90s as we look at this across this over the next few days. Now, let's take another week into the month of August, all the way to August the 4th. Not really changing. We'll have some days there that might get down to 91, but averaging anywhere from upper to mid-90s there. Rain chances, a lot mixed in there. Not huge chances, but we will have those. What's the fishing look like today? Oh, forgot to mention hurricanes. What's going on over there? Well, absolutely nothing. That's good. For the next 5 days, the National Hurricane Center has zero chance of any storms developing in the Gulf or in the Atlantic. We like that. As we mentioned, the fishing forecast brought to you by Chet's Paint and Body. Looks like our first major time will be this morning, 7:30 to roughly 10 o'clock. If you want to hit the water, maybe catch you a big old bass. You'll have another chance late this afternoon. Right at dark is when it will be. Good luck on that fishing as you head out and get on all of that. Coming up, we'll have Candace joining me at 8 o'clock this morning. We'll go live and we'll go a lot deeper into what all went on last night. So if you can join us back, we do appreciate it. Thank each and every one of you for joining us. All of our sponsors that bring us this every day, they're there for us. They're there for you. If you need something, see what kind of services they offer. It's all on the way. And again, we'll be back at 8. Again, our forecast, we're looking at right now 78 degrees as you wake up. It will get to 97. Heat index 106 plus, maybe 107. I don't doubt that it could reach to 110. There are spots that it will. Just be careful. Heat strokes happen during this. As I showed you yesterday morning, the UPS guy in California, walking from door to door delivering packages, fell out. It can happen just that quick. Do what you have to do in moderation. And what the National Weather Service tells us is between the hours of 11 and 7 p.m., not the best time to be out. So if you could avoid those times, stay inside where it's nice and cool, it's better for you. Thank y'all. We'll see you back in roughly an hour and 1 minute from now as we'll go live with the morning show here. Thank you for joining. I'll see you soon from the Scotty Ray Report.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: